Gabi Cirillo.
Cirillo.
Say that again.
Cirillo.
Cirillo.
Yes.
Wow.
This is a bit like music.
It's a bit like cello when you're drunk on tequila.
Even that.
Welcome to the Thought Lab podcast.
Thank you.
Such an absolute pleasure having you here. We've moved a little bit of locations because we were worried about the rain.
Sure.
So I've had a great morning. Let me tell you about my morning. I was in the shower, and my Great Dane decided that she was lying on my bed, and she decided she was going to get sick. So
on the bed.
Yes. So mid-shower, I ran out, grabbed her, led her outside mid-shower. That's great. That's great.
I'm terribly
Then I
sorry.
left her outside. Then I quickly went and did some changing, and she was banging because she's 55 kilograms, so she's banging on the door. So I open up the door and I let her in. So of course she runs in because it's been raining this morning with mud on her feet, jumps on my bed. And so my OCD this morning was
Yeah.
clicking the entire morning.
I can relate completely. And saying, did she vomit?
A little bit.
I'm a sympathetic vomiter, so.
Let me tell you, I'm a sympathetic cleanup vomiter.
No.
And then, of course, we had to move the podcast. So
So it's been a fun morning for
yeah,
you.
it's been great. And I thrive on order.
Yes.
Thrive on order.
OCD.
So this morning, my brother was like, look, are you okay? I was like, I'm cool. Because I'm so comfortable with you, Gabs. I've been telling everybody that this podcast, I've referred to you, and I hope it isn't in a bad way, but as a pocket rocket. Because you're really small, but you're so fiery. And I said, this is going to be a pocket rocket podcast.
Oh, that is very sweet. I'm flattered. Thank you, Huntley. Pocket rocket.
So let's start. And I'm really interested to hear this. And I always ask this question.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be a central part of my podcast going forward. How did it all start for you? Because the majority of people spend their entire lives, like I know guys in their 40s and 50s are still looking for this ever elusive passion, this ever elusive purpose that they are trying to find,
Yes.
right? And we've spoken before, and you've alluded to it very slightly, and I actually didn't want to speak to you about it then because I knew I was going to get you in the podcast, and I like it to be a little bit real. But at what point were you like, I'm going to be an actor in South Africa?
Okay, so I always knew that I wanted to be an actress. Even from a little girl, I remember...
Actress, excuse me.
An actor, actress. I mean, at the moment, it's not PC anymore to say actor
isn't it?
or
Okay.
actress. Yeah, no, gender issues, gender equality.
Yes.
An actor, finish. Even as a little girl, we were asked, I'll never forget it, we were sitting in a circle in a little ring. Excuse me, I do talk
Please,
with my hands.
you talk with your hands. You be
We
you.
were sitting in a circle, and the teacher asked each and every one of us, what do you want to be when you're big? What do you want to be when you're big? And my question, my response at the age of, I think 4 or 5 was, I want to be everything.
Oh.
So she said, you want to be everything? So I said, yes, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a teacher, I'm going to be a spy, I'm going to be a fireman, I'm going to be everything. So she said, well, Gab, how are you going to do that? I said, and at the 4-year-old in me at that stage didn't know.
Sure.
But I said,
In hindsight, how prophetic.
and I said, I don't know yet, but I'm going to be everything. And I was always very dramatic at school. I think my mother will tell you I was expelled from nursery school.
From nursery school.
I was. And
Did you beat up a boy, Gabi?
no, I didn't. I beat up a boy in high school.
Oh, well, as one does in Germiston.
As one does in Germiston,
Yes,
exactly.
Dornview.
That's right. No, I was expelled from nursery school because Gabriella's very sweet, and she's very outgoing, and she's very friendly. And when the teacher says, "Well, now we're going to sing," Gabriella goes, "No, I want to colour in," and everyone says, "Yes, let's all colour in." So sadly, I was
Leader
asked
of the
to-
revolution.
Yes,
The colouring book revolution.
That's it. But performance was always a passion for me. I used to dress up in my mom's gown, and I used to put the ABBA LP on, and I used to sing for my family in the lounge. As a child, I would direct my cousins in performances.
Oh, wow.
And
So you
that's,
think it was just inherent?
I think it was just, it was destined. It was part of
I
my
do
fate.
believe that, I think there's 2 types of people in this world. I think that there's the artists and the non-artists. And artists can be music, it can be painting, it can be theatre, it can be actor. But there's that artistic side. I mean, even the hemispheres of our brain.
Very right brain.
Yes, even the hemispheres of our brain are conjunctioned in that manner. And for the rest of us, it's very difficult.
I think it's also something that can be nurtured within something. I think within a person, I think everyone has a creative side.
Yes, but there's difference between having a creative side, a nuance or an ounce of a creative side, and nurturing it, and just being inherently creative.
Yeah. Sadly, I'm one of those. Like, people say, "Oh, you're such a dynamic woman." And I'm like, I'm really only creative.
Really only creative can be a hell of a thing, though. Does it come with its demons, though?
Absolutely.
Yes, because you see, the universe she's such a bitch, eh?
Mother
Nature is such a bitch.
Yeah.
Because whatever I give on the one side, I'm inherently going to take a little bit of elsewhere.
Yeah.
Where's your elsewhere?
It's an interesting question.
Gabs, just direct. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Sorry, I'm ADD.
No, that's you must listen to my podcast I did last week with Mandy Arnold.
Oh, I did actually. It was very interesting, but and so funny because I relate 100% about internal.
Yes, versus
and
external. I know.
I'm both.
Oh wow.
I'm both.
Do you believe so?
Absolutely. Listen, I was treated Ritalin. I was a Ritalin kid.
Okay, you were a Ritalin baby.
Yeah, I was a Ritalin kid, and I still have to concentrate on concentrating.
Yes. And concentration actually needs to become a skill. Yeah.
I'm easily distracted. I need to focus on focusing. It's terrible.
No, I'm with you. With you. So if you had to say what is, you've been given this beautiful gift.
Yes.
And it really is an incredible, incredible gift. What do you think the downside is?
Well, the downside is I don't have an analytical mind at all.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I am incredibly creative and I come up with all of these ideas, and I have the ability to think out of the box. I do.
I have no
which
doubt.
is great.
Yes.
But when it comes to ordering all those things, and you need a process and you need to be able to put things in boxes to move forward, I battle with that.
Yes.
So, but I'm not scared to ask for help. So I'll just go, okay, so this is my idea and this is where I see it going, but how?
Yes, absolutely. And surround yourself with the types of people who can do that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I don't believe thoughts, we don't create thoughts. I think we take them. They come to us, and if your channels are open, you can grab them out of the universe. I think they surround us.
Well, let me tell you something really interesting. It is rumored that Einstein's theory, E equals mc squared, right, he actually got in a dream. And he says it was given to him. It was a gift that was given to him. Now, I mean, it's Einstein, but I mean, it could be true. I'm not saying it is true, and I'm not saying it isn't true. But it is strange how we get these things.
I think if you are balanced and kind of all your energies are lined up and you've got open channels above you and below you, I think as human beings, I don't believe that we are capable of creating thought. I think it's very much a universe thing, and that's part of spirituality as well. Yeah. And so we all believe what we want to believe. But I believe that if your channels are open, you are able to grasp thoughts and make something of them.
Yeah.
Well, that's my
a lot of, I'd say intellectuals, but some of the greatest intellectuals in the world have done this, is they've used isolation and water. So isolation tanks, or isolating themselves, or water, to do that. I mean, as a medium. Nikola Tesla did that. I mean, he used to isolate himself. And Nikola Tesla was one of the greatest geniuses known to man.
Yeah,
although not very, very well known, unfortunately. But yeah, people use that. People use that medium. The trick is for us as ADD people is to try and quieten that ever-present babbling of a brain. Yeah, and that's the trick.
That is the trick. And I think it's gotten better as I've gotten older.
Yes.
And I'm able to control it more. But I still have to concentrate on concentrating. And it's tough for me. I mean, my boyfriend Alan gets very annoyed because I'll be driving, but I'll be responding to text and oh, did you see that? And, and he says, please just do me a favor. And just when you're driving, just focus on driving and forget the phone and forget everything else and just focus. And I find that I'm very sensory as well. So if there's too much going on, like the TV's on and the kids are screaming and the Kenwood is doing its thing or whatever, something has to go off.
Yes. Now, post my discussion with Mandy, where we looked at the differences between internal and external, all the rest of it, I've been doing a lot of processing internally of what was said to me and understanding sort of where this OCD comes from. It's not really OCD, it's developed OCD because you want to create this order to counteract the internal chaos. But what's also interesting is I'm exactly the same. So for argument's sake, I have a process. My process is on a Friday night I come home. And from I have my last client training, so I leave there at 5:00 and it's in Bedford View, and I drive back, and then I start setting up my podcast, and I put on a little bit of music on the Apple TV, and it just plays, and I have the same kind of music that I listen to, and then my fiance comes home and we open a glass of wine, and that's my process.
Yes.
So last night, Jared and his girlfriend were busy working on my laptop while I was trying to set up, and then music was playing too loud, and my dogs were barking. And I was just like, okay,
yeah, I'm very much
shut the fuck up, everybody.
I'm exactly the same. Exactly the same. And if there's all this noise and then a lot of people in my space at the same time, all talking I can go mad. I can go absolutely mad. And then things start irritating me. So like suddenly the label that wasn't irritating me, and I start to scratch, and clothes have to come off. And it's awful.
I'm sure Alan doesn't mind if the clothes come off.
No, he doesn't. But yeah. But it's very interesting that you have this process. Now, when... I'm just asking. I know it's my podcast, but...
Please ask.
So when you're in the situation, what do? Do you just kind of go... Do you escape? Do you run away? Or do you just go stop?
No. What I need to realize
Or do you try and...
No. So what I've needed to realize is, and it's quite interesting, it's not other people's fault, it's my fault.
Yes, I hear you completely.
Can't put it on somebody else.
No.
Do you understand what
You've
I mean?
Got to take responsibility.
I need to take responsibility.
But how do you process it in your mind? Because I have to just go, guys, please
give me some time.
Just let's turn the TV off and just use your inside voices.
Inside voices.
And they they're getting it. They're like, okay, mom's got like sensory issues, so we've got to like just tone it down.
Yeah. It's a nice way of putting it, sensory issues.
It is.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
too much
sensory
sound.
issues.
And I get claustrophobic.
Okay.
I do.
Are you?
That's,
I was claustrophobic before I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu actually
helps.
Cured.
No.
To 98%. We've had a lot of girls who have come in
really?
who've been claustrophobic, yeah. And Jiu-Jitsu,
Huntley,
it's a hell of a battle.
I'll get on a crowded aeroplane.
And it's problematic, eh?
And there are moments where I'll never forget, we were flying to Cape Town and I just backed up against my seat and I couldn't breathe, and my mother was like, okay.
Don't have a panic attack.
Yeah.
Don't have a heart attack.
This was, 3 years ago?
Oh, really? You know what the thing is with me? I'm very, very hard on myself. So in a lot of instances, I've been through a lot and I've intentionally put myself into a lot of chaotic situations. And as a result, I can manage chaos quite well. So it's a question of man the fuck up, put your big girl panties on, do what you have to do, right? The TV's too loud or the music's too loud, turn it a little bit down because I still want it on. It's just, it was at that point where everybody was in my space, the dogs are running around barking, the music's on, and it's like, right, process, TV down, go outside, swear at the dogs, jam, guys, and it's my thing, right? You must understand it's my thing. So it's jam, Shaz, can I ask you a favor? Please do mine, because I can be an arsehole, and that's not right. Why must I put it on them?
Sure.
Right? Please, can I ask you a favor? Can I give you my laptop? Can you go sit elsewhere just so that I can do my thing? Just so that I can be in my space and do my thing.
Yeah.
But it's not fair on me to put it on other people.
No, I completely. And
I
know it's me.
Yes.
I know it's me.
Yeah.
I know.
I'll give you another example. I cannot stand the sound of somebody drinking. It is the most ridiculous.
Really?
There's actually a name for it. Now I've forgotten.
Sorry, I won't
it now.
touch my coffee.
Right? No, of course you can. You can do what you want, Gabi. Okay, this is all about you. Although I'm talking, nevertheless. And I've actually broken up with girlfriends because of it. No jokes, like literally broken up with girlfriends. It's the most ridiculous thing in the face of the planet. And my mom, I've spoken to my mom about it, and she said that when I was young, I mean, like a little,
Yeah.
4 or 5, I would smack her and say, "You're drinking too loud." Now, I mean, that's ridiculous, but it's obviously something that got given to me.
Huntley, mine is chewing.
Okay, so same, so even chewing. Like, drinking to me is more, but chewing. So for argument's sake, right, let's say you meet the right person. Okay, and let's say you're mature about this and you've done a little bit of self-actualization, you've done a little bit of self-reflecting. You've met the perfect person in the world. Are you going to put your shit on that person when it's your shit? You know what I mean? And so I've had to put my big girl panties on. It's not their fault, you know? And I think the more you grow in EQ, your emotional intelligence, the more you are able to do these types of things.
Yeah, I agree.
Not easy, but...
Look, the first thing about any relationship really is acceptance, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, before
massively
you
so.
This is who you are.
Let's be very serious. My fiance accepts every single day. My brother and everybody who lives with me accepts every single day because I know how I can be. You know, my friends and my clients see me in their space when I'm supremely controlled and I'm in the zone and I'm doing my work and I'm focused. But very few people see me here where I'm, you know, where
where you can afford to lose it a little bit sometimes.
Dangerously so then.
Really?
Because you're comfortable, right? Then you're going to project that onto your fiance or your brother or my friends as well. You know, I can't put my shit on them. You know, I hate being late to a point where I would actually have to manage time. So instead of saying 7 o'clock, let's go, okay, everybody needs to be there at 6:30 because I want them to be out by 7 because I'd be so anal about it. But it's ridiculous. Now, it's different in a business environment. In a business environment, if you're not on time, it's disrespect, right? It's 100% disrespect.
That's not professional.
But from a friendship point of view, if somebody doesn't rock up at 3 o'clock for your bra and they're here at 10 past 3, who cares?
Yeah.
But I cared. Look, I'm over it now.
Yes.
But there's a standing joke in my household where when we're having a bit of a party, a friend of mine, John Paul Miza, I hate you, but JP, he'll take my posters. So I have everything very set and he'll move it intentionally. And then
just
what he would do is, you're just to watch me change it back.
Oh, really?
And you do that the whole night. And
do you count things?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No. Mine's not counting. Mine's just order.
Okay.
It's just I want things.
I count things.
I used to. So my coasters would even have to be straight here. So my coasters are all. It would have to be like this. This is how bad I was.
You see, now I don't mind things that are
Do you know who's fixed that a little bit? My Princess Leia.
Really?
My Great Dane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. So that's like healing.
Every single thing in my house is now covered because she takes over entirely everything.
So, but that's a form of therapy, if you ask me.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Well, self-analysis.
And it's part of acceptance.
Yes, indeed. So, Gabs,
yes.
Let's go way back.
Okay, way back. Go.
Am I right? 1991, you matriculated.
Correct.
From Dawnview.
Yes.
In Germiston.
Correct.
100%. And then you went to Pretoria Technikon to study?
Drama.
Performing
arts, yes.
100%. You finish off studying.
Yes.
How the hell did you start your career?
Oh my God, that's actually a funny story. I'm glad you asked. So I qualify and I come home. Now, I spent a year in Argentina after matric.
Oh, wow.
As an exchange student, yes.
Oh, wow.
A year, yeah.
Okay.
So, and then I got home and I auditioned and I went to drama school and qualified and get home and I go, right, qualified actress, great. My mother said,
what now?
So what are you going to do? I said, oh, no, I'm just going to wait. I've got an agent and I'm going to wait for the jobs to come in. And she said, no, you're not. She said, you're going to get up off your bum.
Yes.
And you're going to get yourself a job.
You're going to hustle.
Mm-hmm. And funny enough, that theme has been consistent. That word that you've just used has been consistent in my whole life. Anyway, so I said, okay. So she said, Gab, you have so many talents. You speak multiple languages. I do. I have an affinity for language. I
really?
love
How many
language.
languages do you speak, Gabi?
I speak English. I can't really say I speak Afrikaans because my Afrikaans is kak.
But you understand it.
I understand.
And
funnily enough, I do understand it.
Yes.
I try and speak it but I was doing homework with one of my children and she'll say, Mom, what is the word for butterfly? For example.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I can't remember. But then they'll go, what is a schoenlapper? And I'll go, oh, that's a butterfly. So yes. I have recall.
Yes.
But
got you.
Yeah. Anyway, so
English,
Spanish.
Oh wow.
Italian.
Yes.
and that's it.
Okay, well, it's
English, Afrikaans, Spanish, Italian.
it's 2.5 more than most people because
Yes.
it's 3.5.
And I understand language, so I'll pick up languages quite quickly. I was just in Mauritius doing a job, and while I was there, I was picking
Yes.
up, you know,
Words.
some French, and I will try. I'll throw myself in, and I'll try and speak the language.
That's my favorite place.
Mauritius.
I love it. I've got a Brazilian jiu-jitsu club in Mauritius. I
Really?
go twice a year. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely
I
love
love
it.
the Mauritian people
And they are
outstanding,
beautiful people.
so soft and gentle.
Lovely.
Yeah.
You know what I loved about Mauritius is I the first time I went to Mauritius, I went as a tourist, and I stayed in Trobiche, which is a beautiful resort, and I
Yes.
went out once. Because you have this tourist mentality to stay with.
Yes.
And now that I have a club there, right, it's the complete opposite. I stay with my friends. I go out with my students. My coaches, Sebastian and Cedric. You know, if I go out, they know don't take me to McDonald's. I can get McDonald's here.
Yes.
Take me somewhere where I can have local food and
That's
local cuisine.
exactly what
and,
I experienced.
Yes,
while
and I
was
want to drink
there.
Phoenix beer because every country's got their beer.
Yes.
Right? So Phoenix is the
Mauritian.
is the Mauritian beer. Yes, just like
Yeah.
Doishem is the Mozambican beer.
It's so
Yeah.
funny. I did a lot of walking while I was there because there were a lot of days where we were off. So
beautiful, eh?
and I'd go off on my own, and I'd just walk through the streets, and yes, and there was a lot of you miss so much of the culture. I found because
Yes.
I did. I went to a resort and I spent two afternoons at a beautiful, and you're in the lap of luxury, and you don't feel the energy, the real energy,
The real
Mauritian.
Mauritius. I know. I'm
Yeah.
with you.
So it was fascinating for me, and
with
the
you.
people, like just the way that they live, and
Do you know that Mauritius is our closest tax haven?
40% rebate.
Well,
That's why a lot of films get shot
yes.
there.
Oh, this is a 40% rebate. So let me tell you, if I'm not mistaken, 30% flat rate, 20% flat rate business tax. No, 20% flat rate personal tax, 3% flat rate business tax. And if you're returning Mauritian, you don't pay tax for the first 10 years.
Is that why there's so
For
many
the
South
first
Africans that
10
are?
years. A lot of guys are going there, yeah.
There are so
But,
many.
but also having said that, they've done things right. You know, you need to. There is a quota. There's a local economic quota that they need to do, and you know the island owns all the resorts.
The resorts,
They own the
yeah.
land to the resorts, so you can get land, and it's very difficult for an expat to get land. They're exceptionally difficult for you to get land there. So a lot of guys rent, but all that pristine land they own, and it's don't come in, don't put high rise. That is
No.
going to mess up and I love that, you know. And I mean, sure, it's got its elements of corruption, but the crime is far
Minimal.
Minimal. Crime.
Minimal. What I love about Mauritius is they're very pro education and
yes.
educating their people. So a friend of mine took a production company. He sold up in Cape Town and moved to Mauritius and started a production company. And he will approach the Mauritian government and say, right, we need to train Mauritian people to light
Yes.
as DOPs, cameramen,
Yes.
as sound engineers.
Sound engineers. Yes.
And the Mauritian government are open
Yeah.
to educating their people. Okay, great, we'll pay 50%. So
Brilliant. Sorry. Brilliant.
it's amazing.
Yeah. And another thing that's getting quite big there, from what I understand, is their medicine and medical.
Really?
Yes.
See that?
Well, you could imagine this. Imagine if I went to Mauritius on an inverted commas holiday,
Yes.
and while I was on my holiday, I happened to get some reconstructive surgery done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it's. I would assume that in the next while it's going to become quite big. But think about it. I'm going to Mauritius on a holiday, and then I get a quick
And I
little,
recover on the beach
a little Botox
with a pina colada in my hand. Yeah, I think that's fab.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Very clever.
Very
clever.
smart.
Yeah, very clever.
Okay, now I you see, I do that. It's part of the ADD.
Yes.
We started talking, and then I kind
Oh
of.
no,
gave
I know
up.
exactly where we were. So where we were is Pretoria.
Yes, what
You come
then?
home,
So
you
my
get a
mom
job.
said
Yes. What's your first job?
I was an interpreter
Oh wow.
at
For?
Johannesburg International. So there was a company called Info Africa,
Okay.
and what they did was we were public relations officers. So we were trained. We were taken all over the country on educationals, they called them. So you would go to resorts, you'd go on tours, you'd go on transfers, you'd go to hotels, you'd go to lodges, and because we had to sell these things to tourists. So
Okay.
a Spanish human would come off the plane.
A Spanish human.
Yes. And I could converse with this human
Of course.
and say, well, this is what we've got to offer.
Okay.
So you book their tours, their transfers, their accommodation,
So
all
you
over
went-
South Africa.
So interpretation, but did it have an aspect of sales in it?
Absolutely.
And did you excel at that?
Yes, I can tell eyes to an Eskimo. I'm
Yes.
very good
I
at
can,
sales.
I can imagine that.
But it was great fun. But then you see the job changed
Okay.
because speaking Spanish, I became an interpreter for narcotics.
Oh,
Yeah,
South African.
South African.
Really?
So what happened was, it was very funny because I was 22 at the time. No, 20? Yeah, 22. I was a little spring chicken.
Yes.
And we used to go to the Juicy Lucy at the airport, and we'd have our cappuccino and our lemon poppy seed muffin.
Yes.
So I was on a break with a friend of mine, and I got a call. I used to have one of those old Ericssons, 933. It looked like a walkie-talkie with that big area.
Yes.
And I got a call.
The pull-out aerial.
Correct.
Yes.
And
Also known as a traditional Zulu weapon because you can kill people
with it, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
you could have. Yeah. So I get a phone call, Gabriella, there's someone here to speak to you. I said, okay. So I walked back into Info Africa, and there was this man with this narcotics. And I thought,
Holy shit.
what have I done?
It wasn't me.
Yeah. So anyway, I went in. Hi, do you speak Spanish? I said, yes. Please, will you come with me? I said, okay. Now, you must understand, Huntley, that I was brought up as a Roman Catholic Italian little girl. I was very protected
And sheltered.
and sheltered. So, okay, so I go with the man. We go into the car. We had access passes. We had an A access pass. Now that's all changed at the airport. They've heightened the security. We could go anywhere.
Okay.
So we go through customs. We get into the car, like where the airplanes are, and we drive around the airport, and we get to the narcotics building. And while we're driving, he says to me, "Look, we've apprehended 2 humans. They've swallowed bullets." And I was like, "Bullets?
Like, actually, you
but
didn't
what do
know
you
that
mean?
was.
Bullets? Oh, that's terrible." He said, "Do you know what bullets are?" "Yes, they bang bullets."
No.
It's cocaine that's been packaged, and then it's taped with gaffer tape.
Yeah.
And they swallow it, and the one swallowed 80 and the other one swallowed 120 bullets. And he shows me the x-rays, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So I had to...
Yeah. The movies are real.
Absolutely.
The movies are real.
So it was such an eye, and I worked with narcotics for about 2 years, and that basically became my job. So yes, I was tours and transfers, but I started working with narcotics at the airport and British intelligence, because we were working with British intelligence.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But what an incredible way to really get introduced to what life is actually about.
It was such an eye-opener.
Yeah.
And eventually they advised me, "Gab, you've got to stop because they know who you are." Because we would go in.
Really?
Yeah. We would go in with our boards,
Jesus,
and we'd have our boards, and we'd stand in custom where the carousel is, where your luggage comes off, and your humans would come to you. You'd give them vouchers, and you'd send them off. Now, what they said is, we don't want you standing there giving out vouchers. As soon as you've got your group, take them through customs, take them to Inter.
Oh, I see. So what happened is the narcotics started affecting on the actual translation job. Yeah.
That's what happened. So, and I had a group of about 20 the one day, and it was early. My shift was early because the Sao Paulo flight, all the South American flights came in early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. And a guy approached me and said, "Take me through with your group." Handsome devil, like beautiful, dark skin, dark hair. He was wearing this like cobalt.
So basically, he was a drug lord.
But Huntley, like beautiful, well put together.
Really?
And he put money into my hand,
Oh, dear.
dollars into my hand. "Take me through with your group." And I was, we were chatted up all the time because
Yeah.
we were attractive girls working for Info Africa. I mean,
Yeah.
that was like
That was
CV
part and
attractive.
Yes.
So we were chatted up all the so I was no, He was like, no, seriously, take me with your group. And he puts more money into my hand. And I was like, oh, hell, something's up. I said, sure, no problem. I said, right, guys, I'm going to go get your vouchers. Because I needed to get back to the guy in narcotics, British intelligence, and say, listen,
this has happened.
This is what's happening.
Yeah.
And I put the money in his hand, and I said, so I ran through. I said, listen, John, this is what's happened. What is he wearing? Description, blah, 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 blah. Great. Okay. Gave him the money, ran, started dishing out the vouchers. He said, take your group through and you just do what you normally do. Because if customs stopped one of your group, you just go, they're with me, and they'd let them go through.
Okay.
So in the meantime,
the
I
power
get back.
of a 22-year-old.
In the meantime, I get back. He has befriended a single woman. He's taken his jacket off. He's put his jacket onto the bags, onto the trolley, his baggage with her baggage, so they look like a couple. And so I say, right, guys, here's your vouchers. Follow me. Out we go. Customs stop him. And I go, no, they're with me. And they go, Gabriella, you carry on. Come back. Great. The guy just looked at me and kind of like nodded. And I was like, oh, God.
Holy shit, Gabs.
Yeah. So I take my group out, put them on their tours and transfers, and come back for the girl who's like, ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué está pasando? What's going on? I'm like, no, don't worry, come. He'd gone. And the following day, when I got to Info Africa, there was this big vase of flowers for me from John to say thank you. You've stopped, like, I don't know, it was about $1 million or so rands worth of cocaine.
Good God, they'll kill you for that, Gabs.
Yeah. And that's when John said to me, he said, Gab, I would strongly suggest that you get out of this now because they know who you are. And that was that. And then I started emceeing.
And then I started emceeing.
Yeah.
So then I started emceeing.
And then I started emceeing.
Okay, progression from then on.
Okay, so then I started emceeing at Emperor's Palace. Well, it was Caesar's Casino in those days. And I did Monte Casino, and I do a lot of the game shows, and I was the chick on the mic. So, hey guys, welcome to Caesar's, great to have you with us. We're going to be doing some blackjack training, wada, that kind of thing.
Got you.
So yeah, I became an entertainer. I mean, we were the rock stars of those casinos. I mean, I would get up onto the machines
and stand there and talk.
And say, come on, guys, we're giving away tokens. Come, you could win this car. Come, let's go. I promise you, we were like rock stars. Like rock stars. It's changed now.
Of course.
Many years later.
Yes.
Anyway, but yeah, and it was great fun. And then from there, but I was still auditioning and doing my thing.
Yes, I was about to ask you, where does the... Yes.
Yeah. And eventually, the jobs just started coming in.
And what was your first job that you got that you really turned around and you were like, okay, I can make it now?
Yeah. I did a lot of international stuff first, but it was little bit parts. And then I got cast I was doing lots of commercials. I think, Huntley, in the last 20 years, I've probably done close on 100 commercials.
Oh, wow.
Here, locally and internationally.
Yeah.
I mean, I have done...
But I mean, let me put this out there, just for the viewers who don't actually know who you are, right?
Yes.
You're an actor.
Yes.
Series and as well as television.
Yes.
You're an MC.
Yes.
You're a dancer.
Yes.
You're a casting director.
Yes.
And you Miss Italy in South Africa. I want to ask you about that later. Yeah. But I mean, that's a hell of a thing. That's a hell of a thing to have in your resume.
Look, I'm a very mercurial human, and I'm quite entrepreneurial. Word. So, like, I've got fingers in lots of pies, and I'm the baking princess. Don't forget about that.
The baking princess?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to talk about the baking princess. But nevertheless,
anyway,
what job was it?
So, it was commercials initially, and then I did a role on Sinbad.
Okay, yes. Yeah, The Adventures of Sinbad.
You've got a lot of information.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stalking me. Trying to feel a bit uncomfortable.
It's not stalking. It's called research.
Research. No, I'm very impressed.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't hurt that you're very attractive as well.
Oh, thanks.
But my fiance knows you and I know your boyfriend. So, I mean, I can say these things.
Yeah, so The Adventures of Sinbad was great. And then I think what made me in this country was Egoli.
Yeah.
So I got cast on Egoli.
Yeah, that was your first.
Yeah. And my character, as always, I play a vamp, but she was such a cool character. I mean, I had to
When
do
you say
fencing
vamp,
training. She was a bit of a vixen.
You seem to get these parts.
All the time, Huntley. All the time. I think it's because I'm exotic looking for the South African market. I'm Italian, so it's the dark hair, the almond-shaped eyes.
And for any of the listeners, do yourself a favor and go and watch the YouTube so you can see how beautiful Gabriella is.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you, Hans. Yeah, so I think that's why, because I'm very different looking to most South Africans.
I got you.
So I always play these exotic roles, and she's normally from
and
another
it's
country.
Completely against your personality.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, I'm very different.
Do you get you obviously get labelled with these things. Right now you're playing Gigi in
Bedford Wives.
In Bedford Wives.
Yes, again.
And you're such a bitch.
I'm such a bitch.
Well, Gigi is such a bitch.
Yeah, Gigi's a bitch.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I often play characters like that, where she's either like this do-gooder action chick, like in Sinbad.
Okay.
You know.
Yes, can do Tomb Raider type style.
Yeah, which I loved.
Yes.
And I think that part of me wants to be like Lara Croft. Or Wonder Woman. You know, like that.
Well, as an actress, you get to be that. Yes.
And I love doing my own stunts.
Okay.
I love it.
Really?
So they'll go, do you want this? And I'm like, I'm diving away from the burning building. I am me. It's going to explode, and I'm doing it.
Let me tell everybody what we're doing after this, right? After this, you come into my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club.
Yes, I'm very excited.
We are going to show you the progression of what MMA is.
Yes.
So it starts with stand-up, which is Western style boxing, and then it progresses to Muay Thai, which is sort of closer, and then it progresses to clinch and takedowns, right?
You're not going to hurt me.
I'm never going to hurt you.
Okay.
Where we use sort of judo, or we would use any sort of takedown systems. We get to the ground, and then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu starts, and then with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu you've also got ground and pound. So that's what I'm going to take you through today. And
I'm
I mean,
very excited.
Yes, exactly. Look at this. Most chicks would be like, "Oh my god!"
No, I'm very excited. I'm like, that's what I said. I think somewhere
I've been warned that you're very strong and very feisty, and that I might have my hands full with you.
I'll go easy on you.
Thank you, Gabi. I appreciate it so much.
So where were we? Hans, you see, you have to control the ADD.
Don't worry. Back in.
Okay.
I know exactly where we are. Right.
Okay.
I have a book.
Smart man.
You see.
I should have also been taking notes. But don't forget where we left off.
Right.
Yes.
Sinbad was your first big role.
Yes, and then of course there was Egoli, and I wasn't killed the first time I came into it because they kind of liked me. So, and they kept bringing me back, and she was very cool. The first time I was in, I played this like I was a thief. So, and she's a spy, and she was so cool. I mean, there were scenes that I had to grab a sword and I just smash shit. And am I allowed to say shit on this?
Yes, this is the internet. You can say more than shit.
Good. So I would smash
shit.
And I had to take fencing lessons.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How cool.
It was awesome. It was so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I came back, I had to break one of the characters out of a Thai prison. So I got to like do the whole gun-slinging thing. I was like, I promise you, there's Action Girl. It's written.
But you know what's amazing though? You know, I mean, I've had Brandon Oretz on the podcast.
Yes.
Same thing. He gets so involved, and he's not scared to like really get going.
You have to be.
I mean?
You know, there's a lot. It's so funny. Just recently because I was on Rhythm City recently, and we were doing a couple of scenes where we had to like handle the guns and the weapons, and I love it. I'm just like I said, Lara Croft. She's in me somewhere. And there was a girl was like, no, I can't even touch the gun. So they had to find a hand double.
Are you joking?
And I'm like, but you're an actor, guys.
Exactly. You know, I think, Gabs, the idea of, it's with all things in life. If you look at somebody and you're like, I could do that, you know, and the idea of being an actor versus the reality of what it actually takes.
Entails, yeah.
Because if I look at it in face value, I go like, what do you really do? You know what I mean? Come on, what do you? Then let's try and put myself in your shoes for a little bit, where I actually have to get in this proper character.
You have to
I need to
embody
understand the character.
character.
I need to get in front of the camera. Let me tell you, that's a hell of a thing. Most people can't even listen to their own voices.
The thing is, and I question people who get into this industry and then have issues. For example,
With holding a gun.
withholding a gun, or you'll get people who go, well, it goes against my moral and intrinsic values to say the word fuck.
You're
and I'm
acting.
Like, you're acting.
Exactly.
You embody your character. You have a job. Your job is to evoke emotion.
Yeah.
That is your job. As an actor.
I've seen you on YouTube in a video smoking.
A music video. Was it a music video?
No, it was Inklizio.
Listen, I've done shit. I've done cocaine in the shit I've done, and you embody your character.
Exactly.
I mean, your message, depending on what you look, things have changed. Now that I'm a mom, there are certain things that I won't do.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
But it's purely because I've got my children watching, and what is the message that I want to convey to them?
Okay, I've got you.
However,
but if you accept the role, because that's what you get to do. You get to accept the role or not accept the role. So first of all, you would go through a process of choosing roles based on your value system now, which has changed.
Yes.
But if you've chosen it, I'm sorry for you, fucking put your big girl pansies on
and
do what
it.
you have to do.
Embody the character, because that is your job as an actor.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to do it, then don't call yourself an actor.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that camera's scary. I mean, these microphones, when I have some people in. Let me tell you a story, Gabs. The first time I did my podcast, the first podcast I didn't sleep for 2 nights.
Really?
I didn't sleep for 2 nights. I was so petrified. Like, fucking petrified.
Why?
Because my idea with the podcast has always been as follows. Although it's pre-recorded and it goes out, right? It's one take.
Yeah.
It's real, it's live. I don't do any editing. For somebody who's not used to that, I'm putting myself out to the world.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking.
It's nerve-wracking. Absolutely nerve-wracking. I couldn't.
And you're real. And you're real. You're not taking on a character. You're
No.
not pretending to be someone that you're not.
Thank you. I try very hard to be very, very, very real because I can't imagine living my life with a facade.
No.
And sooner or later the facade cracks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then
living
if
a lie.
If I'm lucky enough that this podcast grows, and if I'm lucky enough that I get a good fan base, right, and people actually find value in the podcast, and 3 years later, all of a sudden somebody turns around and goes, yeah, but that's not really you. No, thank you.
No.
Yes. No, and I'm not a good actor.
You don't have to be.
I'm just
you
me.
leave it to the actors.
That's it. I'm just me.
Yeah.
So after the podcast, I do an intro and an outro, right? Which first time I called it an extra, like just as a joke. But Jeremy, I was like, "This is my extra." He's like, "It's actually called an outro." I was like, "Oh, thanks." Well, I didn't know. I just guessed, right? So when I first did my intros and outros, I couldn't have anybody in the room. I had to do it on my own.
Really?
Yeah, I had to be on my own and find my space because I hate doing that the most, right? And the last one I did, literally the last one I did for Mandy on it, I had Kerr sitting, next to me, working on a laptop. I had Leia running around making noises, and of course the microphones bloody pick up everything.
Yes.
So I'm chasing her out. Kirsty's sitting there, and it was just, but I got to do it. It doesn't.
Yeah, but
these things, you get better at it.
Yes. Yeah. They develop.
My first podcast, when I listened to myself, it probably took me. So the first podcast was about 2 hours, and it probably took me about 5 or 6 days to listen to it because I'd listen to it and stop and go, God, my voice is terrible. Who would even listen to me? Yeah. Because remember, we're not.
Yes, no, we don't know.
Most people don't know their own, the sound of their own voice. Yeah. I couldn't stand it. And I still don't like listening to my podcasts. In most instances, I'm listening to my podcast only because I want to hear what the guest had to say.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
And now I'm used to it. But it takes time. It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to go out and be a YouTube star. Okay. go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah.
Sure.
On that note, and we're going to get back to where we're going because I'll keep you on track. Don't
okay,
worry.
good.
I want to ask you a
can
question.
divert left, right, and center.
I'm of the opinion that the internet, and in particular YouTube, is going to kill TV.
Yeah, me too.
I really, really, really believe that.
Look, there's a lot of stuff.
And I'm not saying now.
No, it's coming. It's already started.
Yeah.
I mean, people are creating film for YouTube.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Well, if you look at, Neil Blomkamp has got that whole, God damn it, Brandon told me about it.
Yes, I mean, I've done a few of his movies. There's a whole lot of stuff. I mean, I'm just trying to think of the names of some of them. Where we had lots of alien-y stories.
Yes,
always,
very
Neil.
much so. Very much. I love it. I love it. Do you know Neil?
I don't know Neil, but I've worked very closely with his producer, and we've cast about 3 of his movies.
Wow.
Yeah, but those
as casting, eh?
casting director, yeah.
As the casting director.
Yeah.
And you also know Brandon quite well.
I know Brandon,
Yes.
yes. I studied with Brandon.
Yes, that's right.
In Pretoria, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, what an
He was my
incredible human
senior.
being.
Yes, he was my
Incredible
senior.
human being. I
Yeah,
had
very
so
dynamic.
much fun on his podcast.
Yeah,
with
very
him.
energetic, isn't
Yes, very much so. And opinionated, and I love it.
he? Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's so great. So, what do you think the answer is going forward? I mean, yes, I don't think movies going to die. I really
No.
don't think movies are ever going
Not
to die.
yet.
No. No, I don't think it's going to die because people want escapism.
They need, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's
But the
exactly, it's like
escapism-
reading a book or...
7 years ago, 8 years ago, God, how old am I now? 10 years ago, maybe 9, I don't even know. Call it 10 years ago, I already started getting ready to cord cut. And cord cutting means no SABC, no Mnet, internet only, and I already started getting ready then, and I was young and I didn't have a lot of money. So, to buy the right equipment was expensive. It was way easier just to, and I slowly started building up my equipment. And eventually, I mean, for the last at least 7 years, I internet. Why should I watch what you tell me to watch?
Yeah.
As opposed to watching what I want to and choose to watch when I want to watch it.
It's
and
funny.
That's the power.
Yeah. And now you'll find that actors are making their own work as well.
Yes.
You have to.
Yeah.
You,
My brother's a prime example. I mean, he hasn't been signed to a recording label, which is an absolute travesty. I really mean that.
No, he's a very talented human.
I'm biased. He's my brother, and he's good, but he's just genuinely good.
Yes.
He was my return on investment. I put a lot of money into him, and when it comes to business, I'm not emotional. I'm very logical. And I put a lot of money into him initially, and so his latest album now, Charcoal Sketching, he did all on his own. Hired the recording studio, did everything on his own, owns it himself. And I mean, of course he wants to get signed. That's the point.
Of course.
But he has the power to do that. I mean, people are making videos on iPhones. Do you know the whole videos have been shot on iPhones?
absolutely. And you can. I mean, the quality's superb.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you can.
Yeah.
And you edit it and off internet. Boom.
Bam.
YouTube channel.
There we go. And if the content...
Look at that Tully.
Yes.
I mean,
she's amazing.
she became...
Do you know her?
I do. She became...
Let me tell you. God damn it, I love her.
She's hilarious.
As Suzelle.
She's a Greek girl.
I know. As Suzelle, she is the fucking best. I love her so much.
Suzelle DIY.
It's ridiculous. I can watch it all day long.
She is now like a household name.
Yes.
thanks
And now
to-
she's just pivoted.
to Tully's
Gone
wedding.
and done Tully's wedding.
And she's done a big
Yeah.
movie.
Have you seen the one where Tully and Suzelle stand next to each other and talk?
No, I haven't.
On YouTube.
No.
Oh, good
Brilliant.
God. It is the funniest fucking thing on
Really?
the face of the planet. It's really good. They make a wedding cake.
Oh my God.
And of course, Tully's all like, it's got to be perfect.
Yeah, because I'm such a cook. Yes. And then Suzelle's like, yeah. And then you do. Yeah.
Are we gonna
She's
make a
brilliant.
cake?
She's clever.
Brilliant. Internet.
Yep.
Internet made. I mean, there are some really big names like right now. There's a psychologist by the name of Jordan B Peterson who I'm actually absolutely enamored with his work. And basically, he's become one of the biggest driving forces against postmodernism in the world. Internet. In the world. I mean, this guy's book, he wrote a book called The 12 Rules for Life and Antidote to Chaos. It's like #1 on Amazon. Bam, done. In the world right now, internet-based.
No, it's
Because he's been on big podcasts like Joe Rogan. He's been on big podcasts. Everything is internet-based. And
Huntley,
podcasting.
There's a lot of, there are lots of things that are going to become obsolete, and casting directors are going to be. I mean, I met a woman last night who owns a software company, and people are creating apps where you're cutting out agents and casting directors.
Yeah.
So what happens is models go onto a website and they have this app, and production companies have got this app, and they say, right, we're looking for models who, for a commercial or whatever the case may be, and it's literally, it can find the location of the models.
Yeah.
So
Face profiles. You see, what's happening is it's called big data. That's exactly what it is.
everything is
That's
moving
it.
in
So
that
you give me your
direction.
criteria. I've got a list of 100,000 people that are all electronic. I filter it down: age, sex, hair color. Bam, bam, bam. Here's 5. Choose. Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
So as a casting director and as a mom, and as somebody who wants to continue to be in the space, what do?
You've got to up your game, and you've got to make friends with technology.
Yeah, very much
You've
so.
got to.
What is your plan, Gabs? What do you want to do?
I want to be Ellen DeGeneres. I do.
I can literally see you as Ellen DeGeneres, just not the lesbian part.
No. A bit of a Nigella mixed into it, a bit of Oprah, I think, maybe. A bit of Will Smith.
Nigella and Ellen and Will Smith.
Yeah, all kind of there.
Put together. So what you're saying is you actually want to run shows. Be a, what is it called?
Yeah, a presenter. And have be a talk show host. But, with a message. Goal. Yeah.
Okay. The message is important. The message is important today because people need causes because people are lost.
Look, I love the acting. I do. It's my passion. I love it. I mean, I love getting into a character that is not Gab. It's like it's escapism for me too.
Yeah. Okay. Your own form of escapism.
Yeah. But it's always been my dream to be a talk show host. But the message, like drive the message home, whatever, like educate people, talk about things that are current affairs, news, celebrity interview, whatever.
Yeah.
How do we give back?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
So what's happening is the conversation is dying. And conversation is dying because of social media.
Correct, thanks to technology.
Yeah, thanks to technology because of social media.
I was teaching drama and some of the senior kids, you watch them, and they're sitting next to each other with their phones in their hand, and they're messaging each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, they've forgotten.
Yes.
And it's an art. Communication is an art.
Communication is 100% an art. Absolutely.
It's an art. And body language, they don't know how to interpret body language.
Body language, communication, EQ, it's all a skill that can be taught. Absolutely. I mean, if you think about what a spy goes through in terms of training, right? They actually get trained to manipulate people through
body language and communication.
And everything. Yeah. I've actually spoken I've spoken to somebody who said to me that his uncle does wiretapping for the FBI in the States. He was like, do you want him on the podcast? I was like, yes, I do. But simultaneously, I want to switch off all the electronics. Yeah. I don't want anybody to listen.
Fascinating.
Hey, how incredible. Yeah. But look what I get to do. I'm a relative unknown, right? Let's be very serious. I'm an unknown. I'm fortunate enough that I have a great network, right? So for argument's sake, Timo ODV is coming on the podcast soon, and I've got authors, and I've got hopefully one or two other great artists, because I'm so very passionate about artists in this country because of my brother, and I get to put this content out. I get to sit with the likes of you and Brandon and all the rest of it, and I get to put it out. This wasn't possible 10 years ago.
No.
Well, it was, but nobody knew about it, and it was still in its infancy.
But just
and it
think
cost so much money.
How fast it's grown.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a very interesting conversation at my children's school the other day. An advocate came in and said, we have to change the way we think about education and about these children. Now, we're teaching children to become producers and not consumers. So they are learning to code now.
Yes, absolutely.
They're learning about algorithm. My child's doing the Rubik's Cube. So she goes, Mom, it's an algorithm. And I'm like...
How old is your...
She's 11.
You've got how many daughters?
3.
You've got 3 daughters, that's right, yes.
It's an algorithm.
It's an algorithm.
And my 8.5-year-old's talking about algorithms, and they're writing the left, front face, up, and they're writing it down.
You joking?
No.
Holy shit.
That's what they're getting
I feel like I failed in life.
Hence, we're older, and it's changing, and I'm seeing it in them, and it's inspiring. It's
inspiring.
Terrifying.
Yes.
They've got a robotics club and Think Lab, it's called.
Oh, really?
Inventors Club, but it's all these things that we never ever had.
No.
I mean, they've got 3D printers, and they're teaching these children. Yeah. We're moving away from consumerism.
Content producers.
Correct.
I love it. I love the way that's put. Yeah. Look. On the flip side, though, if everybody's a producer, it means there's going to be a lot of content. So that means your content better stand out, because if it doesn't, you're a nobody.
Lots of competition.
And I mean, I'm only now beginning to fathom what it's going to take for me to become a successful podcaster. And what I mean by successful podcast is just have it out to people so they can actually hear what I'm saying. Yeah. Because otherwise, really, what's the point? And I'm only now beginning to fathom the amount of work I have to put into it. And it's frightening. To get it out there. It's frightening.
And you have to be on it every day.
Yeah.
Every day you've got to be on it and focused.
So I've just, my fantastic ninjas and devs, they're so great at BHB Shati. And I work with them all the time, and I'm constantly speaking to them because they're just so in touch. And the guys are like, Hans, you need Twitter. No. And then like a week later, you need Twitter. No. And they're like, Hans, you need Twitter. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've had to go onto
I'm
Twitter.
terrible
So
with
follow me
Twitter.
on Twitter, everybody.
I've got Twitter, but I'm so like, I'm visual. So I like
Instagram.
an Instagram,
Yes.
and I like a Facebook, and I'm not very technological. Like I'll work it out eventually, but it's just so much easier to give it to my 11-year-old and say,
Well, let me tell you a story, Gabs. I've downloaded Snapchat.
yes.
Okay, because I mean,
Now I've just recently like gone no Snapchat.
no Snapchat.
Yeah, because I downloaded it for the kids because they've got these cool filters and bunny ears and all that shit. And then, but it's an instant messaging system as well. So the moment then it's all these hidden.
Well,
I
here's
don't
the thing:
want
the
that.
messages go away.
That's
So you
the
have to-
thing, and
so you
it's
have to
like a
ask yourself-
secret messaging thing.
Yes.
I don't like that.
Yes. Why was it made? I agree. I don't think
I don't like
think
it.
young children should be on Snapchat.
Well, that's it. Because
I just don't.
Isabel said, "Mom, can I have Snapchat?" I said, "No."
Yeah.
"Oh, well, then can you please log into your Snapchat again?" I said, "No,
Yeah.
no, I don't want." If people communicate, open, transparency.
Yes.
Let's communicate.
Especially for girls. Yeah. You need to get your girls to do something like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Listen,
or some
I
sort of
believe in
aliveness.
martial arts
Yes.
to ground them and to kind of
Yes. Some
build their
aliveness sport.
confidence. I mean, Bella was doing martial arts at school, and then she but my child is so sporty. She does everything under the sun. I don't even know where she's going to find time to do something else. But I like martial arts. I love martial arts. I did it for
I don't think it should be a like. I think it should be a necessity in this country.
well,
Yeah. Some sort of self-defense.
in Asia, you take a train and you see people on their lunch hour.
Yes, doing Tai Chi. Yeah. Yeah, they do Tai Chi.
And I mean,
And so what
those
Tai
are the
Chi is?
leaders-
Tai Chi is a movement meditation.
which is
That's exactly what it is.
And
It's a very, very, very slow dance.
yes.
Yeah.
But surely, okay, so you're doing these beautiful moves. Surely, with speed and strength, you can
I disagree.
not.
No. So when it comes to anything in life, right? If you want to become the best cyclist in the world or a very competent cyclist, okay, I can get on a treadmill and I can put in the hours, but you must understand that the surface of the road
Is different.
is very different
Yes.
to a treadmill. So yes, I can supplement, the word supplement, my cycling with the treadmill.
Yes.
But I don't believe that you can become really competent at cycling without actually going on the road.
Yeah.
So that's the same for me with Tai
With
Chi.
Tai Chi.
So for me, an aliveness sport, and you're going to go through all the aliveness sports now. But
I want
is
to be a
something
ninja.
Like
I do.
this is the best conversation ever. I love it.
Okay, sorry.
No. I'm not being facetious. I love it. I love it. But an aliveness sport is something where I actually have resistance because I need to create muscle memory.
Yes.
And if there's no resistance and if there's no muscle memory and if there's no understanding that technique A will not work if somebody else does that,
Okay.
then it doesn't work.
Because when I spoke to someone, what do they, is it Tai Chi or one of them, where it's very slow, and then they say, if you put speed and power, then you can take someone out. So that was like the thought behind it. And I thought, okay.
Yeah. My opinion, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. While you still, because also, it's not. Let me tell you what I believe in between 70 to 90% of the time, if you take a martial artist and put him up against a Western style boxer, which is a jab cross, the Western style boxer is going to win.
Yeah.
Because that's what
take
your
them out.
body inherently wants to do. Jab cross, boom, done, fight over. Okay, I mean, you can't just knock somebody out. It's not that easy.
No.
But I'm saying that's what your body wants to do. That's what your body wants to do. So for the parents who speak to me, and a lot of parents speak to me, a lot. And in certain instances, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu isn't there. And I say, I don't care about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in this instance. I care about aliveness. So kickboxing or boxing or wrestling or judo or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, something that is real where you actually have resistance. Resistance is key. Because otherwise, it's just a figment of your imagination. You might as well just sit there and envisage it in your brain and think that you're training, right? Which you can do as a supplement.
Yes.
When you're a supreme athlete, okay? But to just sit there and think, oh, well, this is me lifting weights in my brain and now I must grow muscles. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you're right.
You need resistance and you need chaos. And that's what it does for you. These types of things. So anything that takes you outside of your comfort zone intentionally and consciously then becomes something that is good for your ego,
Yes.
really good for your ego, and it makes you enter states of chaos, which is good for you.
Well,
Because
you
asked me, Nana,
overcome.
so you asked me,
so
Nana,
much,
how do I manage to manage myself?
Yes.
Yes. I'm used to being in chaos, so I need to go man the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do what you have to do. Deal with it. Like when I was younger, I couldn't deal with it. You know, now you deal with it because I've put myself in chaos.
And you've learned.
Let me tell you a story. I've had 130 kilogram guys smashing me in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? You learn the difference between what is being uncomfortable and being in danger. There's a very big difference between those two.
Okay.
When people start aliveness sports, and the first time you get hit, and most people don't start boxing because like, I don't want to get in the face, right? Then the first time you start boxing and somebody gives you a little bit of a tap in the face, you're like, I didn't die.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad.
I didn't die.
Yes.
And then you get hit again and you're like, okay. And you're teaching your body basically that it's okay to get hit, because most people don't like confrontation because they fear the physicality of actually getting hit, right? And then it's like, it's okay. I can get hit. I'm not going to break. I'm not as fragile as I thought I was, right? I'm okay. I can survive here.
Yeah.
And and in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there's a very big difference between being uncomfortable, right? And I've been really uncomfortable in my life. And I mean uncomfortable to the point of pain, okay? But there's a difference between being uncomfortable and in pain and being in peril, where I
Yes.
actually have to submit. I have to say, I'm done.
Yeah,
Right?
enough.
Or going, I can handle this. And the longer you're in pain, the more pain you can handle. The longer you're in chaos and discomfort, the more disgust and discomfort you can handle. That's why it's good.
Sure.
Right there. That's the reason.
And I suppose you grow.
Absolutely.
And you
grow.
learn.
Because first of all, you need to put your ego down.
Aside.
Because I don't care who you are. I don't care how big you are. I don't care what a street ruler you are. You walk into a pro boxing gym, right? You're nothing.
You're going to be put down to size, yeah.
No, people are going to put you down to size quickly, right? I don't care how big you are. You walk into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club, you're going to get put into place. So there's an ego management component, which is phenomenal.
But it's also good confidence building.
Oh, yes. Now, here's the complete opposite. I've got God, I don't even know how much she weighs. I've got a girl that must weigh under 50 kgs. Literally
A
under
dinky
50.
human.
She's tiny and she's amazing. And she first walked in and she was scared of the process and scared of everything. And big old pantsy, she stuck it out. She was also claustrophobic. The claustrophobia is gone. And she's working on herself and she's becoming a better human being and she's facing her fears. And simultaneously, she's learning a skill that, not yet, but at some point will be able to save her life. And I say not yet because she hasn't built the muscle memory yet. This doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You don't go to a one weekend course.
It's a process.
Yes, it's a process. You don't go to a 1 weekend self-defense course and think you can self-defend.
No.
No, that doesn't happen.
Sure.
I digress.
That's very exciting. Let's go
Yes.
into jiu-jitsu.
Like
Like, I'm not going to go, after today, I'm not going to be able to be a ninja. No.
I'm gonna show you what it takes to be
A ninja.
a 21st century ninja.
Okay.
Yes.
That excited me. Okay. Go.
So tell me
Yes.
about some of your other roles because we finished with Egoli.
Yes. So, Egoli done. Right. Then there was, BBC.
Yes. You did Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart.
You
Yes.
played Kim Ferreira.
Kim Ferreira, who was a lion poacher.
Oh, bitch.
Yeah. No. Like, you see?
You see?
I always play these chicks. Anyway, but again, a con artist.
Oh, really?
So she beguiles, the men to
Okay.
get what she wants.
Wow.
So she gets hold of this rare breed of lion and eventually she gets caught. But again,
Yeah.
interesting character,
Absolutely.
kind of.
And from there you moved to?
And then I did The Wild.
Yes.
No, The Wild was first. No, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to put it in. I did Wild at Heart and I did The Wild. And
Yes.
it
Wild
was
at Heart was on Mnet. You
correct.
played Giovanna.
Giovanna. Italian.
Giovanna, hey?
Giovanna, again, the vamp
Yes.
who comes in and causes chaos and then leaves.
Home wrecker.
You know?
Such a home wrecker.
Telling you.
Gabriella Cirillo.
you know, she got to throw a lot of tantrums, and I chucked the cell phone out of the game drive vehicle, and you know, stuff like that. It was great fun. After that, then I took a sabbatical. I had my children, so yeah. And then I was casting a lot. But there was always stuff that I was doing. So between the voiceovers and the commercials and the this and the that.
Yes, because you've done a lot of the, yes.
A lot. Look, I've done a lot
So Brandon
of
already
film
calls himself a working actor. And that's what you are. You're a working
yeah,
actor.
and you can't stop.
Yes.
You can't. You have to.
You'll die.
You have to hustle.
And never mind that. If you took a sabbatical and you've managed to come back, and that's a testament to how good you are. But I would like to believe, or I'd believe that in certain instances you're out for 3 to 5 years, and that's it. They forget about who you are. Simple.
I was lucky.
Yeah.
I was very lucky,
Okay.
Huntley, because when I did come back, they were like, "Oh, she's back!" And then I got Rhythm City.
Yes, that's right.
I got Bedford Wives, and I played a lead. I mean,
Yeah.
do you know what
Where's Bedford Wives on? Sorry.
Bedford Wives was SABC 3.
SABC 3. But I watched it on the internet.
Yes, of
I
course,
watched
it was on YouTube.
Yes.
So did my mom in Australia.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you were saying lead actress.
So, what for me is so empowering, I believe we need to make more stories about women.
Okay.
And I'm not a hardcore feminist.
No, you're not. I know you're not.
Okay.
If you were, we'd be having a very different
conversation.
Yeah.
Yes. But you know what was so exciting was that there were 4 women, and we're in the same age group, you know, mid-30s, early 40s, playing lead roles. And these women are strong. They're driven. They're ambitious. They're haunted. They're complex. And we were all in lead roles. And, you know, there's been this whole thing that stories with female-driven characters are not watchable. But I beg to differ. I go, well, look at the Hunger Games.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What
a great book.
great...
I've read the books.
I'm also a book reader, I must say. Like Da Vinci Code, I read the book. Angels and Demons, I read the book, and then I was like, oh, yeah, now let's watch the movie. But you know what
the thing is? Yes, exactly. Because if I watch the movie first, right, I get a preconceived idea based on what the director wants, and the characters' looks, and the whereas all these books I get to read, I get to make it up in my fucking head.
In your head,
right?
yes.
Which then leads to disappointment in certain instances. Okay.
It does. And you know what? I'm often disappointed. Like, funny enough, so I read Da Vinci Code and I read Angels and Demons. And
yes,
then,
so did I. Angels and Demons was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Better than Da Vinci Code.
I loved it.
Yeah, I agreed.
I couldn't put it down. And then Alan said to me, babe, I've recorded your movies for you. I'm like, what? Yeah, Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
But they left out that, and they left out that, and...
There's one time in my whole life where I haven't been disappointed.
Which one?
And that was Game of Thrones. So when I first started reading the Game of Thrones series, before it became a series, right, it was shocking. Goddamn, everywhere. I didn't know what was going on. They would go on to these long character plots with the one side and then come back to another character. It was just terrible. I hated it. And then I watched the series. Oh, good God, that was fantastic.
You see, now I'm dying. I started watching the series with my dad.
You have to watch it.
So I watched some of season 1.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I'm not a big TV watcher, sadly. I don't get time.
Fair enough.
I don't get time. But I want to be able to, like, sit and just watch one after the other. The other one that I enjoyed was Big Little Lies with Nicole Kidman and Reese Witherspoon. Okay. Also just phenomenal.
Reese with her spoon.
Yes. She's a dynamic woman.
Bloody hell. Let me tell you who I think is one of the most dynamic actors on the face of the planet today. Is Jessica Alba. Do you know that Jessica Alba opened a company called The Honest Company that's worth billions?
I know. And Reese Witherspoon is doing the same thing. So she's producing movies now.
Okay.
She's producing women with female-driven characters. Which, and I'm going, yes, tell stories. Because stories about women are also watchable.
Absolutely.
I mean, Bedford Wives was great. We did so well. You know, we got
Is there going to be a season 2?
I'm praying.
With everything you can.
Like, I'm holding such thumbs, crossing fingers, toes, you name it, all of it.
We've got a problem in this country. Let me tell you what it is. We consume a lot of American and a lot of British.
English, yes.
We are used to the accents.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, and I'll be very honest with you, Gabs, I watched Bedford Housewives. I struggled.
Did you?
Look, I'm a very different case because I watch no SABC.
Yeah.
Nothing whatsoever. So no SABC at all. No Mnet, nothing.
South
All I
Africans are
watch
very
is-
starstruck. So they're,
No.
we've put the Americas, but remember their film industry is a lot older than
Oh,
ours.
no, of course. I'm purely talking about the accent.
Really?
I'm so used to listening to an American accent.
And then you-
And my podcasts I listen to are, okay, so I listen to South African podcasts as well. And a lot of them, because some really fucking great podcasts out
Yes.
there. And, but I battled with the accents. It's the
Really?
most ridiculous thing. I put it on and I was like, wow, this is difficult. But I love the story.
Yes.
You know, and it's you, so I had to
thank
watch,
you.
you know. But I love the story, and I thought it was done really well. I thought the producing was really done well. I'm not a soapy type person,
Yes.
so please understand that.
Yes.
No.
It was very different.
No,
it was
wasn't
shot like
a soapy.
film.
It was shot like a, yes.
I mean, we had the most incredible camera. I mean, we called it the $1 Million Baby.
Better than mine.
A little bit, Hans. Just a bit.
Just
better
a little
than
bit.
yours, yeah.
Look, I got great microphones though.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal
Yeah,
microphones.
I'm gonna sing now. Yeah, so we had the $1 Million Baby. That was it was shot like a film.
Yeah.
So it wasn't multicam. There was no multicam, and we took our time. It's a phenomenal look. Sadly, on SABC, you didn't get the quality. It was broadcast. So YouTube is much better.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So we lost a lot of the quality on SABC just because
Okay.
they don't have the technology at SAB. I hope I'm not dissing anyone. I'm really sorry.
No, but I mean, look, it's not dissing. There's a difference between putting somebody down and truth speaking, Gabi. Truth is truth.
Yeah. So
Right,
they
and if you're
don't
saying
have
to
the
me
technology
that they
to
couldn't
kind
have
of
1080p, correct.
to broadcast
Correct.
what was shot.
Yeah.
So our crew was very disappointed.
I can imagine.
Even though we were going, oh, it looks great, they were like, we know what it should look like.
Ah, you see.
And the quality was better on YouTube.
Yeah, okay, but if you're watching it on SABC, here's the great thing: you didn't know any different.
Yes.
So I mean,
Yes.
so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, Burnt Onion Productions are making good TV, and they're telling South African stories, which is
great.
Great, and we need to tell South African
stories.
stories.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why I have you
Yeah.
guys on. That's what
Yeah.
this whole podcast is about.
It's so funny. Like when I was in Mauritius doing Agent, which is the next one, we should be flighting soon.
Where's Agent? Come on, tell us.
Agent. It's basically, it deals with the soccer underworld.
Okay.
So, and I played a PR mogul called Jackie East. So she was slightly different. She's not the vamp. She was this quirky, like off the wall chickabee.
Okay.
She was still an attractive woman, but doesn't take any shit. You know, she's flirty.
Hardcore.
Yeah, she's strong.
Strong. Not
Strong
hardcore,
women.
Strong.
Yeah,
Okay.
strong. Look, it was a little role, partly because I needed to come home. I needed to come back home to my kids, and
Yeah. Difficult, eh?
yeah.
Yeah. You're not 25 anymore.
No, and I've got these 3 little humans that rely on me.
Yeah.
You know, and I was relying on my ex and on Al to look after these tiny humans, and then of course there were
difficult.
phone calls, and they were in tears, and I was like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
and
Mom, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Yeah. It's responsibility, and I'm glad you live up to that responsibility.
no, I have to.
Yeah.
I chose to be a parent.
Okay.
No one put a gun to my head. So when you choose to be a parent,
Well, then the responsibility... Look, the responsibility should be yours either way. It should be.
absolutely.
Should be.
But I chose it, and I
Yeah.
always knew that I wanted to be a mom, so I can't shirk my responsibilities.
Absolutely.
Now I go, my career, it's flying, but you know, I'll just find someone to take care of my kid. No. They are my responsibility, and what am I teaching them? If I'm not parenting correctly, what am I telling them about?
Yeah. Yeah. Big time. Big time. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can we agree that the entertainment industry
Yes.
in this country is not just difficult, but full of a bit of, in certain instances, a little bit of fakery and a little bit of douchebaggery? the entertainment industry in general.
In general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree so?
absolutely.
Now, you're a very down-to-earth person. You're a very,
Yes.
very real person, which is why... You must remember, Gabs, I get to choose who I have on you, and I don't need to choose fucking
Thanks,
idiots, right? But this is why I get I get to choose the people, in a lot of
Yes.
instances, very selfish.
Yes.
And I do believe you're so down-to-earth. And when I met you, I was just absolutely enamored with you. I thought you were absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
And I try and I look at what my brother goes through in the entertainment industry, and I look at what other people go through in the entertainment industry, and I'm starting to understand this industry a little bit more indirectly through the people that I'm dealing with. How the hell do you reconcile that? Being so real and having to deal with so much bullshit.
I avoid the bullshit.
Okay.
I keep it. You have to keep it. Well, that's just me. Like, I can't do the hobnobbing and the fancy part. Yes, you get invited to certain things and you have to talk the talk. But after an hour, I'm like,
Gutful. I'm done.
I'll be there. Yes, and I have to do it for social media. Take a picture. Look, I was with so and so.
Yes. I mean, you and I have been discussing that of late.
Yes.
Your social media presence.
And like I said to you, to associate myself with myself as a brand is such a difficult thing for me to do. But I have to, because that's
don't
the
have a
way
choice.
of
Yeah.
the world at the moment.
Yeah.
I have to go
Yeah.
in that direction. And as an artist, it's so difficult for me. I'm like, but I'm doing it because it's something that I love to do. I don't want to have to increase
Yes.
my social media footprint because that's going to get me more jobs.
Yeah.
And that's what's starting to happen,
Yep.
sadly.
Exactly.
I mean, as a casting director, we cast. I'm not going to mention names just in case, but
Is this for G casting, or is this for Casting Couch?
casting couch.
Casting Couch.
So
Okay.
for casting,
So that's your company, right?
not anymore. So I've left casting couch.
Okay.
But for casting couch, we had to cast a TV series, and we had to ask them what their Twitter handle was, their Facebook, and their Instagram,
Yeah.
and they cast according to the following because it's
How
marketable.
frightening.
And I kind of look at some of the actors who came, newbies, unknowns, but phenomenal, and I'm like, put a new face on.
They don't have a name.
No, and they're like, Gab, you've got to understand, we need it to be instantly marketable.
So you see, I mean, so what you're having to do, what everybody's having to do nowadays,
And that is what you were saying, that
Correct.
fucking shit.
that you hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody nowadays is having to create their own personal professional brand. So be it for work, or be it for the podcast, or be it for whatever. And then on top of that is still other successes. But it's massively important. And I mean, it's something more and more I'm speaking to my clients about, and I'm
having a very tough time wrapping my head around.
the
I'm doing it.
let me give you an example.
Yes.
Yes. The sad reality is as follows. There are certain duties that as a director of a company, and I remember I do management consulting.
Yes, that's right.
There's certain duties that as a director of a company you need to do. And this is what I say to my guys who I train with. I say, if you don't like that, leave. That's your choice. You either fucking do it or you leave. Because you have a responsibility. Simple. If you don't like that responsibility, that's your problem. And for us, and I say us now, very small fish, and you're a lot larger
I'm really
fish.
not a big fish. I'm a
But you're-
tiny little
okay.
fish. And
But
very colourful.
For us
but
now,
I'm
who are
tiny.
wanting to play in the space, and even my brother, right?
You've got to.
You have to. If you don't like it,
Because it's the way
If you
that
don't
things
like
are
it,
moving.
go get a job.
Absolutely. No, you're right. 100%.
I know you don't
Huntley.
want to hear me say that, but it's true.
No, you're absolutely right. And I am. I'm trying to I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I need to be more effective.
Yes.
But I'm quite torn.
Conflicted.
Yes.
Yeah. It's because we've got these. However, let me tell you something that is incredible. Somewhere I find myself now is I completely understand the technology and the millennials, but I completely also understand old school business values of walking into a person's office, shaking their hand, looking them in the eye, exactly what you're just doing now, looking them in the eye, giving my word and giving my honor and
Yeah.
fucking
It's
old
so
school.
funny. I had this
And-
conversation with Ellen a little while ago, and I said, you know what? I'm so good.
You're so
email,
good-faced.
CV, blah, blah. Hi.
Hi.
This
Hi,
is
I'm
who
Gabi.
I am.
Yes, exactly. But you need both.
I know.
Yeah, you need both. And I find myself very, Fortunately, right in between.
You're lucky.
Right,
but you
right in-
understand it all. And you know
Yeah.
how it all works.
Yes and no. I've made myself understand it.
Yeah, smart man.
I've had to.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah. It's difficult.
I'm trying,
Gabs,
I
it's
really am.
difficult. But at the end of the day, if you've got a 16-year-old on YouTube that's got a million people following
But
her or him.
I want to be real on it.
Yes.
Like I want.
No. There I agree with
Like,
you.
don't-
There's no fakery. There's no bullshit. No.
Like these influencers. Like
So
these
you're saying that you hate taking
20-something
selfies?
Oh, fuck, I hate it. I really do. I can't.
Do you know that they say that selfies?
It's a disease.
No, yes, it's a it's a form of narcissism. It's a form of
you
I
know,
hate
you can
it.
what you can say.
Do you know what happens to Kirsten and I? Very often, let me tell you a real life story, and for everybody listening, I promise you this is true. My actual life is way fucking cooler than my social media life. And I really mean that. I do some fucking cool things.
Yes.
But there's people out there who have a shit life, but their social media life looks incredible.
Unbelievable.
I'll come home from a weekend away, or we've gone here, or we've done this, or I've experienced this, or I've
Yes.
done whatever. And Kirsten, I'll be like, oh, we didn't take any photos. She's like, oh god damn, we didn't take any photos.
Yeah.
Because I'm too busy living life to actually give a fuck
I
about
love my life.
stopping and go,
Let's
but
take
first,
a selfie.
I'm going to take a selfie.
Oh, no, I can't. I can't. And you know, you can watch. I mean, where was I the other day? And I was watching this chick. I swear to God, for about 20 minutes.
Oh, really? Taking over and over and over again? Really?
I was fascinated,
Really?
trying to find the perfect. I'm like, really?
Look, I mean, let's be serious. Every
No,
night I take
no.
a photo and I'm like, oh, god damn, I look. Because I mean, I'm fucking about as photogenic as the elephant man, right? Let's be serious.
No, thank
so I
you.
take a photo and I'm like, god, that sucks even worse than normal. And then I'll take another one.
But 20 minutes.
No. I put about 35 seconds
You're
into it.
sitting with people and you're going like this for 20 minutes. No, come on, really?
No, that's definite narcissism.
Like I'm a chick, and yes, you want to look, you know, so I'll go,
You wanna look-
babe, come. Ka-chick. How's
Yeah.
that one? Yeah, okay, let's try this.
Another one.
Okay, and last one. Ka-chick. Okay,
Done.
3. That's
Done.
it.
Done. Done.
No, I can't.
No, I'm with you. But I mean, it is unfortunately what it is, you know.
And I do have a very cool life, and I've got cool kids, and Al and I have got 6 cool kids together, but then again, I can't be real because I don't want to put my children on social media. You know, there's a danger.
No.
You know, look.
No.
Technology.
There I agree. Hey, no. Let me tell you. I know. I'll give you an example. Right. One of the most known and downloaded people in the world is a guy by the name of Joe Rogan. He's a podcaster. Okay.
Yes.
He's got over 1 billion downloads, and he's massively influential. Not a single photo of his girls or his wife. He hardly ever even speaks about her. Done. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, Brandon Orette, same thing. Him and I had the same conversation.
You've
I
got
refuse to put them on
you know
social
what?
media, and you know what? I agree with that.
Hence, thanks to technology and the internet, we now have access to billions of people.
Yes.
Globally.
Instantly.
That's great for e-commerce and business, and you can grow your business and promote your brand. But what does it mean for people like me, who is a mom, and I've got little humans who are also showing, and mom, please can I have Instagram and blah, 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 blah. And I'm a public figure. So every time I mention my whirlies or I tag my child into something just because I'm making a comment, and then those people go and follow my child or try to follow my child, we also now have access to predators.
Of course.
Okay. And yes, social media, technology, great. But you've got to be aware of the dangers.
Yeah. I think we need to understand, I think it's twofold. And I don't know what the answer is to the first one. And that is, I think there needs to be an age limit. You know, I think at a certain age, you simply cannot. So, no, right? And then thereafter, I think there sort of needs to be an integration phase where I'm going, okay, so let's say for argument's sake, you're 13 now, as a hypothetical, right? You're 13 now. Yes, you can have Instagram. But let me explain to you
The dangers.
Okay. And let me explain to you what this means. And for the first while, I want you to run it with Ellen and me and Gary and Huntley and Brad and John Paul and, you know, people within my family and my sister and my...
Well, my little girl, like, listen, Huntley, every second child from the age of 8 now has a smartphone.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
That's just the way of the world.
And I mean, how do you even stop them from downloading that app?
Okay. Yes, Alan called me a helicopter mom. I own it. Yes, I'm that mom. Sorry, I am.
Okay.
So, Sophia doesn't have a SIM card. Okay. I have put so many restrictions on that phone, like they can't go onto YouTube. They can go onto YZ Kids, which is YouTube for kids. Isabella's phone gets monitored, but I've also educated. She wants Instagram. Mom, please, can I have Instagram? I said, fine, you can have Instagram. She's completely private. Everyone that asks to befriend her, I say, you run it through me. I go through all her contacts, all her followings, all of that stuff all the time. And she will go, Mom, I'm scared because this person has tried to contact. Block.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm okay with kids having technology, but you've got to educate them.
No, I agree with being a helicopter parent to a degree in that instance, because I think social media can be very dangerous, especially young. I'm not talking about a 17, 18, 19-year-old girl. We're talking about 8, 9, 10, right? 11. That's very young.
It's very young.
But you've also have to be very realistic with yourself in terms of what the downfalls are of being a helicopter mom. Yes.
I know. Al says to me, Gab, you've got to let go. And I'm like, yes, I know. And I'm trying. So I'm very protective. Like, my kitchen is my kitchen. I love my kitchen. I love to cook.
Because you're a great cook, aren't you? Yes.
Thank you. I believe I am. I've been told. I do. I love it. I'm just passionate about food. Yes. I love food. I'm Italian. I think it's just part of...
So you were saying that?
Yes. So Bella is now cooking once a week. So I have to walk out of the kitchen.
Okay.
And just let her do it and not worry about her burning herself or stuffing up the roast or whatever it is. So I've let go.
It's good though. Gabs, you have to understand one thing. As a kid, within the realms of reality, and I don't mean this cyberspace, right? There I think we should be very careful. But within the realms of reality, I've got to test myself. I've got to fall on a skateboard. Right. I've got to climb the tree and I've got to fall out of the tree. Because I'm testing myself. I'm pushing my boundaries. No, if you don't, right, you know what you're going to create?
A monster.
A little pathetic millennial.
You're right. And you know what?
A little pathetic millennial.
Alan has told me, Gab, just let them go. Let them ride back. And I have to. I do. Yeah. I've got to just let go. And I'm, be careful, don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, climb it's fine. If you break a leg, you break a leg. You're not going to die. Oh, and then, but you see, I think, oh God, if they fall on their head and then they break their neck and then, I start
But this is life.
I know.
This is life. This is what we have to do. It's as simple as that. There's no getting away from it, because otherwise they're going to grow up and you're going to do them a complete disservice.
Injustice. I know.
Okay, so you're conscious of it.
Let go.
Good.
Okay, good.
Let go, and you know what you need to do? You need to train yourself to let go. Do it in small increments. You can't just let go.
No.
Because can I tell you what's going to happen then? You're going to come back even more controlling. Let go little bits. Little bit.
So let them make breakfast on their own.
Plan to let go.
They won't burn their fingers. They might.
No, they might. And guess what? It's going to fucking hurt. And it's going to suck. But they're not going to do it again. Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
And let them, their hair is my joy. I mean, they've got hair, my children. And I took great pride.
Lots of hair.
And
Beautiful black, dark, brown hair.
They had waistling there, which I've chopped off because it just got too much. And my pride was like, I take great pride in their hair and washing their hair. And you must wash your hair properly. So now they're washing their own hair. So I know it's terrible. I'm that mom.
No, Gabs.
I know. No, so now they're washing their own hair. And some mornings I let them do their own hair for school, even though it's like a messy pony. It's OCD. Like there's like shit sticking out, and I've got to go. Don't comb it. Just walk away. Walk away.
They're children.
I know, but still, like they have to be neat.
Fucking be.
And the top button, and oh God, yeah. So it's hard.
But it's got to be done. Do you know what I'm going to do? Once a week, I'm going to send you a message, and it's just going to be 2 words.
Let go.
Let go, Gabriella.
Yeah. And then they want to pack their own snack. I'm like 5 raw rule per day. They've got to have raw fruits and vegetables,
Okay.
5 minimum
Got you.
per day.
Wow.
And then I've started to like, Alan, I'll make you lunch, babe. So salad. Then I'll make sure that there's 5 raw things there because, you know, it's good
I'm
for you.
sure he loves that.
No, he does though. No, he really does. I think.
So tell me, Gabs,
Yes.
going forward,
Yes.
where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I don't mean this is like a stupid question, but I know you desperately want to do show hosting. What else do you want to do?
What else do I want to do? It's an interesting question. And you know, I had a feeling you were going to ask me, like, what else do you want to do?
It doesn't have to be answered. It's just a question.
Yeah. I think being a host for sure, I think is a platform for so much.
More. Yeah.
For so much more.
So that's the immediate goal, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah. So because I want to give back and I want to, like, I try in little ways. I'm not like I won't social media about it.
Yes. Yes.
I can't.
No. It doesn't.
There are things that I do for my soul.
Yes. I agree. Food for chicken soup with the soul. Yes.
There are things that I do for my soul. Like, and I don't need to oh, look at me, I'm such a good person because I do this. No, that's bullshit. That's for me, and it's me giving back.
I agree.
And it doesn't matter. Not everyone needs to know about it. But I think with a platform like that puts you in the public eye, you can get so many more people on board, and you can you can communicate so much. I mean, my ethos in my life is do good, be kind.
Lovely.
Do good,
How
be
great.
kind.
Rule number 1, don't be a doos. Rule number 2, don't do
like.
anything that will harm you or anybody else long term. Be good, be kind. I like it.
Do good, be kind.
What a great way to
Finish.
end the show.
Thank you.
Tell me, Gabs, how can guys get hold of you if they want to follow you? You're on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter. I have to I need to be more.
Okay, but you are on Twitter?
Yes, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Instagram.
And you're on Instagram.
I am.
Wonderful. What an absolute pleasure.
Huntley, thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed it.
It's been such fun, and I'm very excited to go and be a ninja now.
We're going to go and be ninjas
Yay!
now.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Gabi, thank you for your time. Everybody, thank you for listening. Guys, so long and thanks for all the fish. Thank you.
Yay.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that podcast as much as I did. It was so much fun trying to keep Gabi on track, and she really is a pocket rocket of note. I really had a lot of fun. As always, my main equipment sponsor, of course, and sound engineer is Jared Smith. For the local listeners in South Africa who've been living under a rock and don't know, Spotify has just hit South Africa, and Jared's album Charcoal Sketching is available on Spotify, so go and download his album. Your soul will thank you, I promise you. Also brought to you by Teletrack. My next podcast will be with the mentalist Gilan Gork, and we'll be doing so in the studios in Rivonia from Teletrack, so I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, Be Sure IT, my digital ninjas who are hard at work looking for new platforms to present the podcast on. So far, we're looking at iHeartRadio as well as Spotify, so hold thumbs that the Thought Lab is accepted on these platforms. If you like the podcast and appreciate the guests, please subscribe to the various channels, subscribe to YouTunes, and if you're feeling particularly generous, drop a review. From a social media point of view, the Thought Lab is available on Twitter at ThoughtLPC, as well as Facebook, the Thought Lab Podcast. Go and like the page. Do it. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Ciao.